Live artifacts. Are we ready? Very quick story, but when I was at Postmates, building out these dashboards would take tons of SQL knowledge, lots of different tools and teams, and hours and weeks even of building them. So it's just amazing that we can now build them on Claude within minutes. So I've been playing around with this for the last couple of weeks now, and I want to start off by just showcasing what I've built. So I built out a couple dashboards here. What you're going to notice is that all of them have demo data. And so I added this as a feature. I just asked Claude, hey, can you add a demo toggle because I'm going to be filming a video. Of course, I don't want to show like confidential information on here, but here's a simple dash that I made that collects all of my information from calendar, email, Slack, etc., and gives me a dash so I can see this every morning and get an idea on what I've got going on throughout the day. Now I'm showing you everything I've built to just give you sort of a little bit of inspiration to show what's possible with live artifacts. And so here's another one, and it's a competitor Intel dashboard. The actual live version of this takes my actual competitors, snapshots their website, and reloads it every week. Those snapshots are then stored so that it can tell me if there are any updates that the competitor has made on pricing, copy, features, etc. This one is the LinkedIn ads, and so I can actually show the live because we're not spending too much on LinkedIn. And the reason I have this window opened up behind called Windsor is because there's going to be times, and I think this will get progressively better, but there are going to be times when there's no connector. In this case, there was no connector for LinkedIn to actually ingest that data and make this into a dashboard. So I went to this platform called Windsor, which does have a connector with Claude. So what I did was I went to Claude and I connected my Windsor account. And within Windsor, it kind of acts as a middleman where it can collect all of that data for you from LinkedIn and a variety of other sources here, and then send that over to Claude through its own connector. So that's what I did for this one. And I'll actually just remove this. I just wanted to showcase that first here. And with the LinkedIn ads, I wanted to track my click-through rate and my pacing, along with some other items here. This isn't the most comprehensive dash because we're not, again, spending much. We've only spent $100 at Growth Pair over the last 30 days, I believe, or 90 days even. So we're not spending much on paid acquisition. The next one here is interesting because it takes in information from our bank account, from our Stripe, puts it all together and gives us information on how we're doing financially, from revenue to expenses to the categories to our credit utilization. So I just wanted to show everything that I built, but now I actually want to go in and build a live artifact from scratch. So all we have to do is hit this live artifacts. You can actually even go through, and I've built these live artifacts directly through a Cowork chat. But if you do it this way, it'll actually prompt you with questions on what it is that you want to build. But what to think with live artifacts is it's essentially taking all of the connectors you've added into Claude, and with those connectors, you're now able to display it into these beautiful charts and dashboards with Claude. So I'm actually going to just use Whisper here. We'll allow this because it's opening all the different connectors that we have. And I actually want to showcase how I built that LinkedIn ads dash. So we're going to build it out from scratch. Help me build out a LinkedIn ads dashboard with Windsor AI and put in all of the information that you can on our ad performance, campaigns, etc. So I'm just going to hit enter on this. What you'll see here is it's actually giving you all the information on what's possible. It's showing that I've got Figma, I've got iMessage, I've got a bunch of other tools that are connected. And then it's going to ask what I want to do with this, but I'm going to say I want a LinkedIn ads dashboard. That's not how you spell LinkedIn. LinkedIn ads dashboard. We're going to say weekly review, and let's do a numbers first dashboard. And so just going back into this, the connected tools, it's showing us what we have connected and what's possible to build. But I didn't want to build all of the items that it was suggesting, which it does a good job of suggesting, different tools that you may want to use to create these dashboards and then what you can display with them. But what we want, again, is the LinkedIn ads dashboard. It's asking for permission. We're going to give it that permission. And we're just going to let it cook here. I'm going to accept all permissions. I'm not going to have you wait through this, but I'll pause and then we'll be back to show you what we've built here with Claude. All right, we've got something here. So this is the dashboard that it came up with. It's showing that we've spent about 150. And what's really cool is it's actually giving us a chart with all these bars, which are indicating how much we've spent on a daily basis. And then the green line is showing how many clicks. So it's a good kind of visualization on how we're doing. Are we spending more? Are we actually getting more clicks? What is our click-through rate looking like? And yeah, very interesting. I mean, it made this in a couple of minutes, but what if we wanted to do some creative analysis on LinkedIn? Let's ask it to do that. Can you add in a creative analysis section on this dashboard that analyzes the copy specifically on the ads and gives us insights onto what's working well and what's not working as well from a click-through rate perspective? And I say click-through rate because we primarily run thought leader ads on LinkedIn. And so not to get into all of the details of that, but you don't get as much down funnel metric information because these ads are very organic looking that don't have click or links and UTMs, etc. Let's give this access here. And so that's why we primarily track click-through rate as a metric on this specific style of campaign and ad. So let's let it do its cooking again and then see what it comes up with in a couple minutes here. Let's dig into some creative insights. So this is what Claude has come up with. It's added it to the bottom of the dashboard. You'll see we've got the top performing copy, this all of the ads and the assets that we have with high click-through rate, because that's, again, the metric that we're tracking. And then it's got all the underperforming copy. And I also asked Claude to do an analysis on all of this creative, the copy itself, and give me a breakdown, which it did here. So this is something that'll constantly refresh on, the cadence that we want, whether it's weekly or monthly, and we can start to get insights from here and start to optimize creative. Now, what's also really interesting is that if you're, say, a marketing consultant and you want to share all of these insights in a really nice, easy to look at, kind of easy to view screen or snapshot, you can hit this button here and you can download it as a PDF, and it's going to allow you to then send it off over email or Slack, whatever it may be. I think eventually Claude will probably add a way to host this on some sort of URL so that you can just send the URL to your team or clients, or just an easier way to share than having to send files around. But overall, that's all I wanted to share here. This is a really amazing feature that, again, back in the day when I was at Postmates would have taken days and weeks, if not months, to be able to build out some things like this. So definitely leverage it. You've already got likely connectors on your Claude instance. So if you've got all those connectors, you can just port them over and make these really, really beautiful dashboards. All right, that's Live Artifacts.